Good morning. Happy New Year. Tape for Susan.
Okay, can I just leave this at the end?
Sure. Hello. Shabbat Shalom. I'm giving you a virtual hug. Okay? Hello. Hi, Laura. Welcome back. Come on. Let's do this. Hi, Marilyn. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. What a surprise to see your face. A great surprise. Welcome.
Thank you.
If you have an extra paw, there you go. Yeah. Here. Bye. Hey, Al. This is for David. He doesn't usually want it. Our Dave is coming too. Here you go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, get your books. Ay, 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 ay.
Anyway, it's online. We can go back and listen, right?
Oh, ours.
Yeah.
Yes, it's online. That is the best way to do it. And so it was Yeah, we'd love you to.
Yeah.
We'd be honored.
We will plan.
But Alex, what I wanted to say, Alex has brought so many really beautiful traditional high holiday melodies, and then some new high holiday melodies, and did not. One of the things that used to happen is by the end of the holiday we were like, "Don't give me that prayer one more time," and Alex is differentiating evening, morning, different new stops.
Oh, now
So
one
that
year. 1 year.
You're just like, oh, and I know every year it's getting better. It was pretty fantastic. Yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
But also keep them guessing, but also keep them comfy. Fun between fun and traditional is one of my teacher says.
Okay.
Tradition and fun. And it's Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
What a blessing to be here. Shabbat Shuvah, the Sabbath of return, the Sabbath of returning. It's important for you guys to know that this past month we welcomed 5 new families. 3 of them were here last evening at Shabbat Shuvah. And that was really touching for me. I am so proud of the way that this synagogue has chosen to keep their doors open to anyone who chooses to come through. And we see the payoff, the benefit, the way we have zachinu, we have merited from that. People come through the door and find their way home. 185. In the middle of the page, we pray responsively. May the door of this Beit Knesset be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
186, 57, 84. The new year, this first Shabbat of the second Shabbat of the new year, as it is, full of gratitude for being given the gift of today, having my soul restored to me. 186. Modeh lefanecha melech chai v'kayam modim ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam. 188 at the bottom, Psalm 121. Yavo Ezri, Ezri, Meim Adonai, Oseh, Shamayim Va'aretz, Ezri, Meim Adonai, Oseh, Shamayim Va'aretz, Yailai, la, 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 yailai, yailai, la, yailai, la, 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 yailai, la, 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 yailai, la, la, 194. Allow your third eye, your inner eye, to do a cheshbon, an accounting of first your physicality and then a cheshbon nefesh of your soul. We don't take for granted every part of our being that sustains us, that is returned to us, this gift of life, interconnected with mystery, with miracle, and with blessings. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam bechokma, uvaravo nekavim nekavim, chalulim chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei chisei chevodecha, she'im yipateach echad mehem, o yisatem echad mehem, אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. 196. Easing you back in. From now on, the Chatimot will be High Holiday Mangina, the gift of soul, Nishama, Nishima, and Nishama, Nun, Shin, Mem, Hey, are spelled exactly the same way, wrapping up your breath and your soul, your Nishima, and your Nishama with gratitude. 196.
Elohai,
Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Ata berata, Ata yitzarta, Ata nefachta bi, Ve'ata mishamra, mishamra b'kirbi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. 198 through 204 are the traditional Birkot HaShachar, the blessings of the sun. We reach together for our insert sheet this morning as we allow the special melody of Louis Armstrong to guide us into gratitude and discernment of all of the blessings in our life.
כשאני רואה בחלוני את שמוריק לך וגם לי, אני שר לעצמי איזה אחלה עולם. השמיים כחולים עננו לבד, והבוקר בהיר ובלילה ישן, ואך לא לעצמי איזה אחלה עולם. בכל צבעי הקשת יפים חדשים, דמותי הרי הגשם על פני האנשים, והיום כה יפה וקל לי כל כך לומר שאני wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the black blessed day, dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
In our parashah this morning, I will speak to you about those clouds as a sign of divine presence following us. So Louis Armstrong knew of how the sacred unfolds in every aspect of the morning. 215, allowing this space, our Minyan, this community, our this sense of oneness and this sense of Beit Knesset to provide us with richness and with joy.
Ashrei,
Ashrei,
Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Yehalelucha, Od Yehalelucha, Ashrei. Hallelujah, oh dear hallelujah.
218, singing Hallel, Hallelujah with every breath, with the blast of the horn, with the resounding cymbals, with a sense of amazement in the universe.
Yai lai 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 lai, 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 yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, hallelujah, hallelujah, Ki Ozo, hallelujah, Bivurotam, hallelujah, Berovuno, hallelujah, Beteka Shofar, hallelujah, Benever Vechinor, Hallelujah, Betzil Tzalei Trua Kol HaNishama Hallelujah, 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 Kol HaNishama Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah.
219, let the soul of everything alive bless your name.
Lai 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 lai, lai lai lai, lai 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 lai, lai lai lai, lai lai lai. נשמת כל חי תברך את שמך השם השם אלוקינו נשמת כל חי תברך את שמך השם אלוקינו כל עצמותיי תאמרנה השם השם
Ilufinu male shira kayam. Olshonenu rina kamon galam. Imavotenu v'imotenu v'imanu al kein evarim shepilagta banu v'ruach nishamanu. Hashina shor shamata hein hein yodu V'kol kirvei et shehem kodsho 222 Ha'el b'tatzumotu zecha hagadol b'chavot shemecha Gibor l'netzach v'nara b'onotecha Shochen ad maron v'kadosh shamo V'katuv ananu tzadikim Adonai V'sharim nava tehila V'fi yesharim tithalal Uv'divrei tzadikim titbarach Uvilshon chasidim titroman Uv'karev kedoshim titkadash Uv'makalot revavot amcha beit Yisrael B'rina yitpaer shimcha malkenu b'chol dor v'ador 223 Yishtabach shimcha ba'ad malkenu Ha'el ha'melech ha'gadol v'ha'kadosh b'shamayim u'ba'aretz Yilech ha'na'el ha'na'elenu v'eloi avotenu v'imotenu Shir u'shvacha halel v'zimra oz u'memshala netzach gedula u'gvura Tihila v'tiferet kedesha melchut barachut v'odaot me'ata v'yad olam Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu gadol b'tishbachot al ha'oda'ot Adon ha'niflaot melech chai ha'olamim 224 You have my attention, which is a tenderness beyond what I may say, and I have your constancy to something beyond myself. The force of your commitment charges us. We live in the sweep of it, taking courage one for the other.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה
Amen.
בעלמא תברח חירותי
וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגאלה ובזמן קריב במהרו אמן. יהי שמירה במבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח
ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל
שמי
בקודשה בריחו לעילם
לעילם כל
ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה במהרו amen. 226, of course, you hear the high holiday manginot will carry us through Shabbat Shuvah, linking Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, calling one another into formal worship as you are able. We invite you to stand and connect with our people everywhere through our connection to our heartthrob, Yerushalayim. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. 228, marveling at the light. Letting the light fill you and guide you and lead you to your better self, to what is possible on this morning. Together, 228, Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvarei choshech, Oseh shalom uvarei et hakol, Hameir la'aretz v'ledarim aleha barachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'arucha selah.
Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir, or chadash al Tzion ta'ir, or chadash al Tzion ta'ir, or chadash al Tzion ta'ir. ונזכה כולנו במהרה לאורו. ונזכה כולנו במהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות. 230, how deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our Shekhinah, gracing us with surpassing compassion, on account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us as well, O merciful one. Have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. V'ha'erenenu בתורתך ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך ויחד לך אבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך ולא נבוש ולא ניכלם ולא ניכשל לעולם ועד כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו נגילה ונשמחה נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ ותוליכנו קוממיות לארצנו כי אל פועל ישועות אתה ובנו בחרת וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול סלע באמת להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה
232 as you are able we stand as a community
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed 234 How are you living? How are you loving? How are you bringing your Judaism with your feet, with your heart, with your deeds into the world? ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך 236 Adonai said to Moses as follows Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves tzitzit on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the tzitzit at each corner. That shall be your tzitzit. Look at it and recall all of the commandments of Adonai and observe them so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihyot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem
Adonai Elohechem Emet. It is impossible to be in Shabbat Shuvah and not experience yourself between the book of life and the book of death and the book of Bein Oni, recognizing that we have the work, the holy, sacred work of Teshuvah to do. 241, Birkat Geula. And what is my lifespan? I am like a person gone out of Egypt, and the Red Sea parts, and I cross on dry land the two walls of water on my right and on my left. Pharaoh's army and his horsemen behind me, and before me, the desert. Perhaps the promised land too. That is my lifespan. 240, the words of Miriam and Moshe, of Nachshon, and of Bnei Yisrael, our prayers of walking with the divine.
Yai, yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai,
Yai,
yai, dai,
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 yai,
dai,
dai, dai,
dai,
dai,
dai,
dai. Yai, yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, yai, dai, dai, yai, dai, dai, yai, yai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, yai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nor tehilot osef eleh. Shira chadasha shibchu geulim. Lishmat sfat hayam. Yachad kulam hodu. V'imlichu v'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Tzur Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Uvdekenu mecha, Yehuda v'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. As some of you walked in so aware it was Shabbat Shuvah, you thought you should be reaching for the festival prayer books. But it's not a festival. Rather, what changes, in addition to the manginot, are the insertions in the Amidah of Shabbat Shuvah as we pray together out loud. And when you go silent, look for those insertions that symbolize the magnificence of this day. Yai, la, la,
Yai, la, la, la,
yai, la, la,
Yai, la,
yai, la, la, Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tekilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
244.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor veHanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vechonei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot va'imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו ואהבה.
Remember us for life, O Sovereign who delights in life, and inscribe us in the book of life for your sake, living Shekhinah.
זוכרינו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch u'Baruch Shemo,
Magin Abraham ve'Ezrat
Sarah. Amen. 246. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach, morid hatal, mechalkim im bechesed, mechaye meitim berachamim rabim, sohomech noflim verofech olim, umatir asurim, umkayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha av harachamim, zocher yitzurav, lechayim berachamim, lechayim berachamim, v'ne'emanata lachayot meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hametim. 247, you are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the doorframe, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you together. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, Eternal Teacher. Encourage my seeking as I fill my hours with your mitzvot. So shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Baruch atah Adonai, notea betochenu, chaye olam. 248.
Nikadesh, Nikadesh, Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Kashem shemachti shimoto b'shmei marom. Kakatuv al yad nevi'echa v'karazil elzeh ve'amar Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, Melech kol haaretz kevodo. Adir, Adirenu, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonai, Adonenu, Mahadir, Mahadir, Shemecha, Bechol haaretz, Baruch kevod Adonai, Mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, vehu Yashmienu, vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'nei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Tzion ledor vador. Hallelujah. Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid lecha, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatecha nakdish, v'shivcheinu, v'shivchacha Eloheinu, mipinu lo yamush le'olam ha'ed, ki el melech gadol, ki el melech gadol, v'kadish ata, ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid kol lecha, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatecha nakdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Baruch Shemo, Ha'el, Ha'el HaKadosh. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai HaMelech HaKadosh. We pray, kol echad belachash, each one of us finding our own prayer. The traditional tefillah continues through page 260.
יהיו לרצון רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי וגואלי.
I invite you to stand if you would like to follow page 603. This is the priestly benediction given to our ancestors and communicated to us. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom, 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 shalom. 258. Feel free to be seated.
Sim shalom, tova v'cha
Chen v'chesed
v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha baruchenu yotzreinu baruchenu avirotzreinu kulanu Echad be'or panecha ki be'or panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Torat chaim ve'avat chesed Utzedaka uveracha v'rachamim v'chaim v'shalom v'tov b'hinecha v'varich et amecha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך ובכל שעה בשלומך בספר חיים בברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה נזכר וניכתב לפניך אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל לחיים טובים ושלום ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום. Amen. 362. Tekes Hotzeat Sefer HaTorah, our special ceremony for bringing forth our Torah. אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן. אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
363, הקהל את העם. Assemble the people, all of the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai, your God, and to observe faithfully the words of this Torah. And let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai HaShekhinah. 364.
כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים.
366, Nalakum, please rise.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Le'amo Yisrael bekedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlul Adonai eti unerom ema shmo yachtav.
Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz lecha Adonai הממלכה והמתנשא לכל ראש על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Ellen.
So today we are reading Parsha Ha'azinu. We are starting on chapter 32, which can be found on page 1407 in your Chumashim. For the first Aliyah, I would like to call Sheldon and Lauren up. And the rabbi will be reading verses 44 through 46 for this. Where are you, Sheldon? you here. Oh. I'm sorry, I can't find you. It was Nala Amod.
Tova bat Beryl.
Nala Amod. Tova mi beit Beryl Liba. Nala Amod. Simcha mi beit Moshe v'Tova. Ha'aliyah harishona.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amin V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vayavo Moshe Vayidaber et kol divrei hashira hazot beoznei ha'am hu v'Hoshea bin Nun vayachol Moshe lidaber et kol hadvarim ha'ele el kol Yisrael vayomer aleihem simu levavchem v'chol hadvarim asher anochi meid bachem hayom asher titzavum et pneichem lishmor la'asot et kol divrei haTorah hazot.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Yesher Kol so much strength.
For the second Aliyah, the rabbi is going to continue reading on verse 47, and I'd like to call our Chazan Alexandra up for the Aliyah. Nala Amod, Alexandra, mi beit Yitzchak for Miriam, ha'aliyah ha'shenit.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Notin HaTorah.
Amen. Ki lo davar rak hu mikem ki hu chayechem uvadavar hazeh ta'arichu yamim al hadama asher atem Ovrim et hayarden shama l'rishtaha vayidaber Adonai el Moshe be'etzem hayom hazeh le'mor alei al har ha'ovrim hazeh har navo asher be'eret Moav Asher al Pnei Yericho, or A et Eret Canaan, Asher Ani, no ten, leave no ten, Asher Ani, no ten, Livnei Yisrael, no ten, Livnei Yisrael.
Baruch Ata Adonai
La'achuzah. Sorry.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet b'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Todah. Thank you. Mishabera. As Alexandra offers a Misha Berach for members of our community who are in need of healing, I will add the names in her pause and then turn to you for additional names of loved ones who could use healing of body and of soul on this morning.
Mishaberach Avotenu ve'imotenu Abraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu yivarech et hacholim.
Todd Albelli, Claudia Battaglia, Evelyn Bowler, Amelia Byers, Audrey Cohn, Connie Creedon-Muller, Harry Fidel, Phyllis Fillmore, Ariana Hagakor, Ron Hall, Ellie Edelwitz, Lou Klein, and Mary Jane Klein, Deborah Lifton, Jack Lyons, David Mallon, Jane Meyerson, Estelle Nadler, Merle Perlmutter, Sloan Shortley, Sam Skolnick, Lynn Spiro, Jenny Sumber, Tali Talman, Mineo, Beverly Ushko, Ben Wilder, Karen Wilder, Kim Wiltsey, Maureen Wolfson, Jen Wolfson, Sue Worthman, Lauren Petties.
Anthony Schleuderer.
My wife, Joni Sapsi.
My husband, Samuel Steinberg.
Jared Miller and Rochelle Kahn.
Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yimelei Rachamim Aleihem Lahachlimam Urapotam Ulchaksikam V'yishlach Lahem Meira Refuah Shlema Min Hashamayim Refuat HaNefesh Urefuat HaGuf Hashta Bagalav Vizman Kariv V'nomar
Amen. For the third and final Aliyah, Marty, you came in just in time. I'm going to call Marty Miller out, and I am going to be, for the honor. I'm reading. Yes, you.
You're getting the
Come
honor,
bless.
friend.
You're getting the honor. I am going to continue reading on line 50. Nala Amod Mordechai Dav Mi Beit Eliyahu Yeshua V'Gela Ha'aliyah Hashli Shit.
He wants to tell us.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevarach.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amin v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yeah, I see. Amen. Umut bahar asher ata ola shama ve'yasef el amecha kashemet Aaron achicha bahor har ve'yasef el amav al asher ma'altem bi b'toch b'nei Yisrael b'memirvat kadesh midbar sin al asher kol kadashim oti b'toch b'nei Yisrael ki mineged tireh et haaretz v'shama lo tavo el haaretz asher ani noten livnei Yisrael.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yesher koach.
And as the rabbi lifts the Torah, I invite you to rise. Michael, can you come up and tie for us, please?
When I lift the Torah, I'm going to ask you just to take a look at the song of Moses' song and the beautiful pillars that it creates, so that you have a sense of it. Come on over.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו
I need a hand. I need a hand up at top.
Torah, 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 Torah,
No, lift it
Torah,
up,
Torah,
please. Thank you.
tzivah lanu
No, you guys.
Moshe.
There we go.
Torah, 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 tzivah lanu Moshe.
Hold it till I say. Okay, I've got it.
Torah,
I've got it.
Torah, 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 tzivah lanu Moshe. Divrei Zion, Tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai Yerushalayim. Ki Zion, Tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai Yerushalayim. Ki Zion, Tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai Yerushalayim. Yeah, yeah.
Hallelujah, Shem Adonai.
Kiniskav Shemo
Levado, 374.
Hodo al eretz v'shamayim.
We remain standing for a moment, guys.
Vayaharem kerem le'amo. Tehila lechol chasidav. Livnei Yisrael am kirovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Ki lekach tov natati lefanecha. Natati lachem, Torati al ta'azovu.
Yitzchayim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomchecha meushar derachecha darchei noam v'chol netivotecha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
It can be found on page 1436, 1436 in your Chumashim. And the blessings before and after the Haftorah are on 372 in your Siddur. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nviim tovim v'ratzav v'divrayim hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'nviei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
Shuva Yisrael Ad Adonai Elohecha, ki kashalta ba'avotnecha. Kuhu imachem divarim v'shuvu el Adonai imru elav. Kol tisavon v'kach tov unshal mafarim sifatenu ashur lo yoshienu al sus lo nirkav v'lo namar od Eloheinu lema'aseh yadeinu asher b'cha Yerucham yatom Erpa mishuvatam ohavim nidava ki shavapi mimenu eyechatal Yisrael yifrach kishoshana v'yachsharav kol bal vanon. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shor kol ha'olamim, tzaddik b'kol hadarot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'oseh, ha'medaber u'mekayem, shekol dvarav emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah, v'al ha'avodah, v'al hanvi'im, v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך. יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך וברוך שמו,
מקדש השבת.
Amen. Yesher kochech, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So I don't know if you guys realize this, but for me, these high holidays have felt very special, very precious, in that I recognize, as I lead you through these high holidays, that this is my last time that I lead you through the high holidays as your rabbi. So every last is meaningful for me. It's really this opportunity to look and to say, you know, what is the message that I want to reveal with you, I want to unfold with you, I want to learn with you, I want to teach to you, while I still have the bama, while I still have this moment to do it. I realized last night as we were in Shabbat Shuvah that this is my last Shabbat Shuvah with you. So I did some very precious teaching yesterday evening for me about Yehoshua, who is described in our portion today as Hosea. You heard me read it. And so I'm going to ask you just to look there for a minute. I'm not going to repeat what I said last night, but our portion is Parshat Ha'azinu. It begins on 32:1, and I'm sorry, that's not where it's related. It's where we read. We're going to look at 32:44. And you hear Moses came and spoke all of these words, Vayavo Moshe vayidaber et kol divrei hashirah hazot be'oznei ha'am, in the ears of the people. Now, I did this last year and I'm going to do it again one more time. That when it is be'oznei, it's like this. And notice when I'm coming at me, who has not been hugging you guys because I want to stay safe for Yom Kippur, I don't want to get COVID. But you watch me get right up in Susan's face, right? I got right up in there. It's so intimate. It's so intense. And this song is so powerful. Why a song? Well, Moses, like us, knows that he's sitting between life and death, the blessing and the curse. In fact, he knows he's going to die. He knows that. And this is what he wants to communicate. And he communicates it in song because song is how we touch the heart. Song is how we are changed. Song is how we remember. Song is how we carry those lessons with us. I always say to you, when you want to teach your children the ABCs or the Aleph Bet, you don't just go Aleph Bet Gimel Daled or ABC. You sing it to them. Aleph Bet Fet ABCDE. And I want to remind you that when I go into senior residences and nursing facilities, and people are non-responsive, and then I sing to them, they open their eyes and they pay attention, and sometimes they even sing with me, and people are like, that person has not said anything for X number of, and yet the song is the thing that stays with us. And so this song that Moses gives happens when he's 120, when he's already been told that he is not going to go into the promised land, that he is going to die. And the song, and I asked when I lifted up for you to look, you saw how the song looked. And how did it look? Like pillars. Like pillars. And if, I know, I'm really, I thought I was doing great this morning, and then I'm like, words are not coming out, and melodies are not coming out, and I definitely have high holiday mush brain. So that's what I have, and I apologize for that. Usually I just open my mouth and it comes out. This time it's like, no, I don't know where I am. But, so I couldn't open it that wide because I'm pretty tired. But if you saw the pillars, Ellen, they were on two different columns. And on the top of one, and on the bottom of one, the blocks, heaven and earth. The pillars that connect between heaven and earth. And that's where we are. We are sitting here on Shabbat Shuvah in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, grounded, but also reaching for something bigger than ourselves, for a sense of the divine. And last night I talked about the fact that Joshua, who is supposed to inherit and go forward with the people, is not called Joshua at all, which was his name of leadership granted him by Moses, but he's called Hosea, and we unpacked that. Why Hosea there? But I want to turn with you, because we don't normally get to do this, is to see how this is linked to the next portion, which we read next week, and which we will hear the very end of on Simchat Torah, but we won't have a chance to study it, as it will be a special portion on next Saturday. So I want you to look with me at the other end, V'zot HaBracha, the final portion which connects with Ha'azinu, give ear. And I want to look a little bit about what we can learn here. And this is the blessing, V'zot HaBracha. V'zot HaBracha. And this is the blessing. Does that sound familiar to anybody from anything that you know? V'zot HaBracha? Well, absolutely. That's not what I was thinking, but absolutely. It's part of our ceremony, which is great. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the Torah and its role. This is the same word, v'zot habracha, that we hear in Genesis 49:28 with Jacob. V'zot habracha. This is important. Why is it important? Here it comes for Moses, and this is the blessing, what we just heard, right? The Shirah, the song of Moses. Why? What is the symbolism or the meaning of the same words that Moses speaks as a blessing for us as we go into the promised land, and Jacob spoke in Genesis 49:28? What's the connection?
Clearly, it's the beginning of the people, and it's the continuity and the nurturing and growth of the people as they move into a new land.
That's right. So Ramban and Rav Bachya each talk about the continuation. That it was the beginning of the national existence, the first time that we actually saw ourselves not as tribes and families, but as a people. And now this blessing has not only continued, but this is the gift as we go into Israel. There's another piece here that connects the two of them. So thank you, Sheldon. V'zot habracha. What's happening with Jacob when he gives his blessing? What's happening with Moses when he gives his blessing? Well, we know what's happening with Moses. What's happening? He's going to die. What's happening with Jacob? Don't you remember? He gives a blessing, and then he lifts his feet up off the ground onto the mitah. That's where we get that Talmudic phrase about dying. You lift your feet onto the mitah. He gives his blessing, and he expires. He dies. They're both dying. This is really a beautiful moment because our tradition teaches us that when you die, it is your opportunity to bequeath blessings to others. It's not an ending. It's part of continuity. And that's a beautiful thing to pay attention to when we tend to people at their deathbeds. And when we think of our own mortality, it really sort of brings us back to tradition. What are the blessings? I'm dying. What are the blessings that I give to another? It's different because one, I'm dying, turns me inward, right? I'm dying. Oh, me, me, oh my, oh my. And then the Jewish thing takes us out of it and says, I'm dying. How do I send my blessings forward? It's different. And it's precious. It's important because with all of my hoo-ha and let's see, I can't even remember English words either. The reality is that not all of us are going to merit for next year. Not all of us will be here for 57, 85. We hope for that. We hope for fullness for this year, bringing us into next year. But the bigger question is not, will I live or will I die? But how will I bring blessings to others? Okay. This next thing I just love. V'zot habracha asher be'arach Moshe ish ha-Elohim. And this is a blessing that Moses, ish ha-Elohim, the man of God. What a funny, beautiful phrase. What does it mean? Ish ha-Elohim, the man of God, et b'nei Yisrael, of Israel, or bestowed upon the children of Israel before his death. This is the blessing of Ish ha-Elohim, the man of God. What do we make of that? Man of God.
Well, I think in some way, we talk about Moshe as the only one who saw God anim el panim, face to face. So it sort of gives him a different legitimacy and status in the people that's still very new and maybe not fully believing.
Yeah, and we do refer to him as Ha-Navi, the prophet of all the prophets. He saw, as Sheldon said, God panim el panim, face to face. He has that direct line. So this, if what Sheldon is saying rings true, so one of the things that Ibn Ezra tells us is that being Ish ha-Elohim tells us that the words that he's speaking are of God. The Ramban says that his blessings would be fulfilled. You can count on this. But you're saying more than that. This gives him the legitimacy. This gives him the title. This gives him the sense of, you can count on it, like Ramban said. This is from God, like Ibn Ezra said. This is authentic. This is the real deal. And if we're going forward with these blessings, take them with you. Carry them with you, right? Let's stay very, very, very present with these words. V'zot habracha asher beirach Moshe ish ha-Elohim. This is the blessing which Moses, the man of God, blessed et bnei Yisrael, the people of Israel, lifnei moto. Lifnei moto. Before his death. Any questions, thoughts? Why is that phrase there?
I think it's more than just before his death. It's lifnei in the face of, as he faces his mortality. So it's a very personal moment to Moshe.
So Sheldon's using the word pan, lifnei, he's seeing pan there, for my face, making it a personal kind of thing. Wait, so what's personal? Just take it all the way. What's personal here?
Before his death would have been, he would have been granted the opportunity to go into the promised land, and, he could have lived another 5 years and died at 125. And so, but the whole circumstance of his being vulnerable and having to face his own mortality at that moment in time, it's not just for me before he died, but it's his realization that, okay, this is where my life stops, and I have this leadership and almost godly obligation.
So the obligation is also personal. Yes. And the obligation is, so I'm not going to live those extra 5 days or 5 years. I'm not going to get to go travel in the promised land. But you know what I do get to do? I get to bequeath this blessing to you. And that's what I was reaching for. What's personal? The personal is the legacy. L'dor vador. The personal is, what am I going to give you to take with you? That's what's personal. That's what's immediate. I do love this Rashi thing. Lifnei moto, he says, Im lo akshav ematai. If not now, then when? And if you want to ask me a question about Shabbat Shuvah, that's what I would say to you. Like, yes, it's about Moses, but it's actually about each of us. And we're sitting here, and the scales of Gzar Hadin, the scales of justice, my life, sits in the, in this in-between period. If not now, then when? That's what our High Holiday Liturgy is saying to us. If you were planning on doing it, this is the time to do it. Not tomorrow or next week or next month, but right now, lifnei moto, the urgency that comes, this sense that if you're going to do it, you got to do it. And with that, this blessing comes. Okay. This is, again, I do love this, this thing, if you keep following down. He said, Hashem came from Sinai, having shown forth to them from Seir, having appeared from Mount Paran, and then approached with some of the holy myriads from his right hand. The source presented Aish dot. Aish dot. Aleph Shin Dalid Tav. It's a very, very interesting word because it doesn't mean anything. But it means a lot. I said it as if it was two words. Aish dot. But it's not written that way in the Torah. It's written Aleph Shin Daled Tav. And what does it mean? The rabbis say, read Aish dot. And Aish is fire. And dot is law, right? It is a fiery law. It is a fiery law. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means, but I have a question about the whole thing.
I love it.
Okay. All right, so Moses knows he's going to die, and he's going to offer his blessings and whatever. What do I, representative of your average slum, I'm not a man or woman of God, how do I know what I have to give to offer?
It's such a beautiful question. When I read Ish HaElohim, it's so funny because I actually go in the opposite direction of you. As soon as I hear Ish, I'm like, oh man, that could be me too. Ish is the ordinary schlump. And so what I'm going to say to you is, the reminder that he is a man after all of that, the reminder for me is every one of us could have a moment like Moses. And do remember, that we don't know when. That's what the Talmud says to us, right? The Talmud says, do teshuvah before the day you die. And then the students say to their Rebbe, but how do I know when I'm going to die? And the rabbi says, exactly. You don't know when you're going to die. So it brings you, it brings you to this urgency to do it now, to do it every day, because I might die today. But more than that, what you were saying, there's a story that when you go up to meet the Creator, your Creator won't ask, why weren't you like Moses? Your Creator will ask, why weren't you like Susan? And I say that because Ish HaElohim, for me, reminds me that at the end of the day, Moses was a basar v'dam. He was a human being. He was like each of us, and he elevated through Eish dot. He elevated. Dot means law, but it also means faith. Dot means law, but it also means Torah. It's a fiery Torah. You, through your study with Torah, you who lives your Jewish life, you and David and Ellen and Evie and me and Alexandra, we each have the opportunity to be the very best of who we are, which makes us Susan, Shoshana Shel Elohim, like Moses of God. Moses is the most ordinary, extraordinary prophet. He's extraordinary because he had that intimate relationship. And when you choose to have an intimate relationship with God, so you are elevated, my answer to you is there's room in the word ish to enable ourselves to become the biggest mensch that we can become in our relationship with the divine. So my answer to you is now. Do it now. That's it. This is it. I didn't answer your question?
I'm not so concerned with my relationship with the divine, as important as that may be. I'm concerned with what do I have to give as an ordinary person to give to the people, you know, who are.
Oh, your legacy. What is your blessing that goes on?
How do we know what it is if we are, as I said, just an ordinary schlub? I mean, how can I presume that I have something?
I think, I'm going to begin, and then maybe we're going to let Stanley? Sam. I heard the S, and Joni and Sam. I'm going to answer one thing. We all, every one of us, have a spark of the divine in us. So I can't tell you what that spark is for you. I can tell you that I'm equally a schlump. But I know that when I go into those quiet moments, I notice what is, and this is beautiful because we're doing it with H. Dot, what is on fire for me, that's what I need to give.
So, in partial answer to you, the Lubavitcher Rebbe said there's a giant scale of justice in the universe, and you never know what positive deed you do that will turn it into the plus side forever. So your blessing is anything. Picking up a piece of dirt in the, paper in the street and throwing it in the garbage. Anything positive you do, smiling at a person might be that. So if you just go through the rest of your life doing positive things every time, then it doesn't matter when you die because you are doing positive things every day. And that might be the plus that brings Mashiach and everything right now. So be an optimist. And Jews are optimists,
Anyone else want to jump in here?
Yeah, Rabbi. Yeah, when you said the word dot, doesn't the word dot mean knowledge?
No. Da'at with an ayin,
Oh, okay.
not dot.
Okay.
This is dalet
I
tav.
thought that too at first.
Yeah,
It was-
no. Lauren.
I just wanted to say that I think Moshe at the end of his life is so, has so much humility that he can put aside, the terror or the resignation or whatever it is that you face before death and look to really assess what he's giving, or not even personally assess, but just have it so much a part of his being that he passes it on.
Yeah.
And that each of us are made in the image of God, and each of us has the potential to act with humility and to better in some way the people around us.
Yeah. So Ish Ha-Elohim, I love that you're saying this because last night what I taught about Hosea, one of the things that I got to in my teaching was that was an example of his own humility. That he didn't need to be called Yehoshua, the leader, but Hosea, as he was known, his humility. What if we read Ish Ha-Elohim as a semblance of Moses' incredible humility? He's a man of God, because the Lubavitcher Rebbe was remarked on in our synagogue. And the Mashiach was. Let me interpret that in a Reform perspective. And this we've been pushing a lot. we all have a part in tikkun olam, in repairing the world and what you do. So yes, any smile or picking up a paper and putting it in recycling, any one of those things could matter, and one of the things that we've taken from that teaching is that when we're here on earth, we have a responsibility not just to do a good deed, but a responsibility to repair and to heal the world and to bring it closer to a time where there is healing and peace. And so what do I have to offer? I'm looping all of these beautiful comments back together. I can do my part to activate the spark of the divine in me to do healing in the world. Is that a smile? Is that creating backpacks so children that are from whose families are refugees in our Kingston community can go to school with a beautiful new backpack with supplies? What is the tikkun, the repair that you're going to bring into the world? So I think that that's important. I don't want to lose the Eish dot, okay? And Eish dot, Rashi says, was, yeah, of course, because you just heard when the source gave us Torah, there was fire and thunder and lightning. Eish dot. Monday evening at the end of Neilah, we're going to do Havdalah. And we're going to hold the flame as you do every Saturday night in your home. And you're going to remember that we think of Torah as a connection to the divine. We think of the divine, which we can't see or make an image of, but can be described in a metaphor of fire. You can't get too far from the fire, because if you do, you won't be nourished, you won't be able to see, you won't be enlightened. You can't get too close because you'll get burned, but you need the fire. The fire is the act of creation, the act of doing, the act of, and it warms us. It brings community together. Community comes to be a fire, right? Like what I should do, it's Shabbos, I can't, but what I should do is build a bonfire and so that people come and hang around the bonfire. It warms us, it brings us together, it nurtures us. Eish dot, the Torah.
We can see by the fire.
You can see it by the fire. You can be enlightened by the fire. The Torah is our bonfire. It draws us in. It warms us. It enables us to see. It keeps us connected to one another. It helps us to know what we need to do to bring into our legacy. So I do have a commitment on Shabbat Shuvah to make sure that it's not one of our longer services. Plus, I can see a bunch of you are exhausted. I don't know. I can't understand why you're exhausted, but I hear you. And my big, yesterday I went to, as I told you guys I would in my teaching on Rosh Hashanah morning about a lover's quarrel, my beloved Israel, I went down to New York City to be part of the demonstration at the UN. And it was pretty powerful and important, and nothing like being squished together with 2,000 Israelis. It's the treat of my life. But the funny part was that I got up at 4:15 in the morning to make the train, and so I'm also still tired. So I hear you. I'm tired, and I'm not going to go long today. But I don't want to leave this without giving you, take a look at 3328 of Vizot HaBracha. There's so much here. I just but I do want to show you this. Vayishkon Yisrael Shachen. Vayishkon Yisrael. This is the sacred abode of God. Betach, secured. Badad, Ein Yaakov. This is the dwelling that's secure, alone in the likeness of Jacob. What is the dwelling? What is the dwelling? Just above it in 26, we hear, I'm sorry, Ein Ka'el Yeshurun, and earlier we heard Mi Kamocha. What is the dwelling? What is this text referring to? May your borders be sealed like iron and copper, and like the days of your prime, so may you be in your old age. There is none like God, O Jeshurun. He rides across heaven to help you, and in God's majesty through the upper heights. That is the abode of God, immemorial, and below are the worlds, mighty ones. He drove away enemies before you, and he said, destroy. Thus Israel shall dwell secure, solitary in the likeness of Jacob, a land of grain and wine. Even his heavens shall drip with dew. It's a beautiful phrase. Even his heavens will drip with dew. The Talmud suggests in Talmud Sukkah 11 bet that, well, Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Akiva are having a little bit of a machloket. Rabbi Akiva says, know that we're all fragile and insecure, that at any day we could lose our hold. Rabbi Eliezer says, no, this is the Sukkah. And I love that we get this in Vizot HaBracha right before, or this is the Sukkah. And we feel both of those things in the Sukkah, don't we? We feel the fragility of life. I always tell you, we have to leave our four walls. We have to leave the buildings and the edifices that we have built, our homes, and we have to go and dwell. But at the same time, this blessing of the dew that sustains us, the dew that falls, it's all there. Plant your feet on the ground, look up through the schach into the heavens, and what you know as you gather the four species, that you are accompanied, livui, with the divine. And then we are going to hear right here about the clouds of glory. And that's what I was telling you about. You can see the clouds of glory. Sukkot is this reminder as we go through these days of awe. We find ourselves out in the sukkah, totally exposed, totally fragile, and totally present and available to what is possible, to a sense of the divine, to a sense of something bigger than ourselves. I'm using that word for those of us who are like, that's not what I'm spending my days thinking about. But I am making that connection because if I have a blessing to give, it means I'm connected to something bigger than myself. It means I'm not just sitting right here with it at my face, but rather I am becoming part of something bigger. We've left the generation of the desert. We are about to go into a settled land. How do we take what's possible and what we've learned from the vulnerability to be able to chart a path that is life-giving and will bring the Mashiach, that is life-giving and will enable us not to destroy the world, but to heal the world, not to destroy our neighbors, but to heal our neighbors. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. And next year, your new rabbi will take you into new spaces. Not until June. I'm just
Warming up.
because we're in the high holidays, I'm in June 30th, if you want to know exactly. But I'm just in this, it is a very contemplative time for me because I'm feeling the last, then we get to Shabbat for the whole year, and it won't feel the last, it will feel like another, and a wonderful another. But at the moment, it is all about, the last time that I get to rock your world, that I get to rock the world together with you. So let me give some announcements here and orient us. So, following the conclusion of services, if anybody would like to go into the back and give a hand to those who are building the sukkah. It was supposed to be done last Sunday, and they had to use a rain date because of, it wasn't inclement weather, but it was unstable weather they were concerned about. And so they really got unstable weather this morning. I know that they can use a few Shabbos hands if you're up for it. Kol Nidre is Sunday evening, tomorrow evening, beginning at 7 p.m. We start exactly because we want to get Kol Nidre done before the sun sets. Yom Kippur will follow, Erev Yom Kippur follows immediately. We flow right from Kol Nidre into Yom Kippur services. Yom Kippur Day is Monday at 9:30. We will be here from 9:30 a.m. through Ne'ilah. There's something all day long, from straight up wonderful, amazing services to meditation to dialogue with the clergy. There's something for you all day long, including youth services and children's services. Please check our schedule. Our doors are open. We welcome everyone to be with us. For everybody, when you come in tomorrow, even if you plan on breaking your fast at home, if you want to help just sustain our community, drop something. I do my breakfast at home also, but I'm going to pick up some dried fruit and drop it on the breakfast table, so when people are leaving here, they can break their fast before the ride home. There'll be a table set up and volunteers organizing it. We ask everyone to bring something and drop it at the table so that the people who are here all day really can have something sweet before they get on the road at sundown. For our full 5784 High Holiday calendar, look at the website. If you have photos from Tashlich or from Second Day Rosh Hashanah at Poets Walk, please send those photos to Regina. We want to make sure that we can share sort of the magnificence of what was with everybody who didn't do Second Day with us. Do you want to get involved? Check out any one of our committees, speak to a board member or to me or to Regina in the office. And of course, our Tikkun Olam goes on not just on the Chagim, on Yamim HaNoraim, on the days of awe, but throughout the year. And we welcome everyone in the congregation, whether you're on the committee or not, to be involved in an act of tikkun, of repair, at least once a month. You know, what do the rabbis say? They say if on any given Friday night, all of the women of Israel lit candles at the exact right time, the Mashiach would come. I say, if every single one of us were involved with acts of tikkun olam, guiding our lives, we would be a lot closer to the Mashiach coming. It is our privilege to open the doors of CEHV on the days of awe and throughout the year to anyone and everyone who chooses to be with us. So I'm going to say to you, my beloved congregation, we can only do what we do through your tzedakah, through your support. So I know you are supporting us all year long, and the high holidays is a special blessing for us to make a tzedakah donation, a high holiday donation. And I I invite and welcome and implore and urge you to do so. This is how we keep our doors open. So thank you for being part of that. All of these announcements and much more are on our website, so we invite you to look at that and be part of that, and amazing. I'm going to invite you to turn with me to page 587. Standing together, once again facing Yerushalayim.
עלינו לשבח
לאדון
לאדון הכל,
לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. 591 ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad. We remain standing. 594, why should I wish to see HaShekhinah better than this day? I see something of Hatzor in each hour of the 24, and each moment then in the faces of all people. I see Elohim. And in my own face, in the glass, I find letters from God dropped in the street, and everyone is signed by the Sacred One's name, and I leave them where they are. For I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. For those members of our community who are in their Shana, their year of grief, we are with you. And we weave together the yahrzeits of loved ones who died in this season in years past. Flora Bernstein, Hyman Cohn, Jacob Forst, Saul Goldfarb, Jane Weber Halprin, Gary Honig, Kitty Schlaffenberg, Lillian Teddy Solomon, Anna Trask, Yiska Brenna Mi Beit Moshe Tzora Rivka, Bruce Baruch Wynn. Zichronam Levracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We hold the martyrs of our people who left no one to say Kaddish, and the peoples of every race and nation who live their lives as a blessing to humanity. We affirm goodness, we affirm sacredness, we affirm life and the spark of the divine in each of us. Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah. Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kariv ve'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'lalmei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal. Shmei t'kudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiram be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol b'nei Adam v'imru. Amen. We close on page 626. And all of us are so thrilled that you, Joni, and Sam, Joni, right? Did I get it? And Sam are here with us, and we're excited about that. You look so familiar. I feel like I know you, but I don't think I know you.
Joni's from Kingston.
Originally. Awesome. Awesome. And you're visiting?
And today is her.
Is, my high school class of 71, Kingston High School, we're all celebrating our 70th birthday.
Amazing. The whole yeah, that's great. So
Class of 70.
that's wonderful. And where do you hail from?
I'm from Kingston.
I know, but where are you coming from now? Sorry.
Oh, we live in Staten Island, New York.
Great. Awesome. Well, we're so thrilled that you came to join us.
Thank you.
Gmar Chatima Tova.
Ein Eloheinu,
Ein Kadonenu, Malkeinu, Ein Kemoshi Einu, Mi Eloheinu,
I'm sorry.
Mi Chadonenu. We're gonna let Alex start again. It's all right. We both have mush brains.
Take two.
We are tired. I shouldn't speak for Alex. I'm
No,
sure she's not tired.
Yeah. Let's do this one. Ein Eloheinu,
Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Eloheinu, Mi Adonenu, Mi Kemalkeinu,
Mi Moshienu, no del Adonenu, no del Adonenu, no del Malkeinu, no del Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, Gemar Chatima Tova. And Alex, you're going to do Kiddush.
Sure.
Parker, I'm so
help
happy
me,
to
Parker?
greet you. No, Parker's coming with me. You're doing Kiddush.
Bye. Bye,
Come on,
Parker.
Parker.
It's okay.
Come.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei
okay.
pari hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. Shabbat shalom. All right. We have double challah. We need like a string to hang on to it.
There's a lot going on.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to the one for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. So we're lucky to have Ellen's challah here. I'm going to break a few pieces off for us. Shabbat shalom. So happy to have each of you here.